walking across a bridge on the dirt road when I heard the troll growl. He said, don't you go walking across my bridge. I'm gonna make it tough on you. I will give you swamp fever. You'll be wondering if you're you. Yeah, you know you got to pay the toll, 'cause even trolls love rock and roll.
My husband often jokes that my main subscribers are CIA, FBI, MI5, MI6, etc. And I think there may be some truth in that. So I've decided to make a video for my target audience. Coincidentally, when I was driving the car the other day, I heard a song which I hadn't heard before called Even Trolls Love Rock and Roll. So I'm using a short clip of that. I'm not claiming it's my song, I'm using it under fair use, and I hope you like it. You can probably buy it at Amazon. So, do I think I'm under surveillance? You bet I am. We all are. The moment you post an opinion on YouTube, especially if it's anti-establishment, Big Brother will be watching you. But I think we've got to speak out, because psychopaths are in control of the world. Ordinary people have to become involved before it's too late. But what I want to focus on in this video is the government trolls I see on YouTube videos like mine. If people realise that billions of pounds are being spent trying to influence public opinion dishonestly, with government trolls pretending to be ordinary YouTube users, and when you see the extent of this on all the blogs as well as on YouTube videos, the amount of money required must be enormous. And there they are, operating out of MI6, or in many cases out of basement flats in London. So how do you recognise a troll, somebody who is putting out views on behalf of the government? Well, the first thing I would say is that these people fundamentally disagree with the views put out in the video. Now, I don't know about you, but if I disagreed with a topic on which lots of videos are based, a topic such as chemtrails, for example, I wouldn't keep going back to chemtrail videos to argue my point. I don't happen to believe in reptilians or shape-shifting. And I apologise to David Icke for that. A lot of what he says makes sense, but reptilian theory is not something I identify with, I'm afraid. So, do I go to David Icke's videos and leave lots of disparaging comments? No, of course not. People have a right to their opinion. I don't spend any time on reptilian videos. Here's one YouTube user that may be genuinely interested in convincing chemtrail believers of the error of their ways, but you notice he's obsessed with watching videos he disagrees with. Now, I don't know what you think, but I don't think that's normal. So, his channel is fairly typical. He intersperses the chemtrail commentaries with one or two other topics, but this troll, because that's what I think he is, seems to specialise in chemtrails. What you often find with trolls when you go to their channels is they very often have some sort of appearance of an interest other than the topic they specialise in. I made a video called States Sponsoring Suicide Solution about the NHS and David Cameron, and I was quite surprised to find that somebody interested in cameras, obsessively interested in cameras, should have thought it worthwhile posting a comment about it. Like lots of you, as a part of my work, I go to hundreds and hundreds of training days, and because of that, I suddenly started to think about what it would be like to go on a troll training day at MI6 or GCHQ or wherever they hold them. I think it would look a bit like this. First of all, there'd be the usual coffee and welcome. And then they would start on the profile of a typical conspiracy theorist. So to find out the sort of thing that the trolls are taught on their training day, just have a look at this example here, which was written by a troll who, I believe he was a troll anyway, who was on my video Chemtrails from Manston Airport. And he says, yeah, good luck fearing stuff that isn't there. As with all doomsdayers, when the date comes and goes, or in this case 10 years from now when nothing has changed, you will still find excuses to continue to believe in this nonsense. I would suggest you look up Harold Camping's followers to see the perfect example of your own mentality and just how bad paranoia and fear can end up ruining your life. So basically they're taught in their training day, I think, about Harold Camping, whoever he is, and it's probably some sort of religious sect or something like that, and they're trying to give the impression that conspiracy theorists, as they call them, anybody who believes something the government says isn't true, in other words, are mental in some way. They also use a lot of vocabulary which is quite derogatory. Words like chemtards, for example, they're very fond of using, which suggests that people who believe in chemtrails are some kind of, well, retard, I suppose is the word. And then you'd have some information about how to set up a realistic profile and a realistic channel, with advice on having lots of interests in there and things like that. After lunch, they would go through some common beliefs held by conspiracy theorists and how to debunk them. So if you were specialising, for example, in chemtrails, they would talk about how chemtrails are formed, etc. And you'd have to debunk them. And then finally, you'd have role play in which you penned some comments on videos and try to debunk them. If you're a troll, you're very much the same as Winston, the character in George Orwell's 1984, who worked for Big Brother's Ministry of Truth. You work for MI6 or GCHQ and you think that you're protected, but he wasn't protected, and I don't see any reason why it should be any different for you. I think you're going to be in exactly the same boat as the rest of us if things get nasty. So if you're a troll, my message to you is this. I understand that you've got a job to do. You're probably a university student, straight out of university, and you took a job at GCHQ or MI6 thinking you would be James or Jane Bond, and you've ended up doing this, just answering these comments on blogs, etc. You obviously can't give up your job because you need the money. So what I'd like to say to you is take the advice of Homer Simpson, and here it is for you.
Lisa, if you don't like your job, you don't strike. You just go in every day and do it really half-assed.
But whilst I appreciate your financial predicament, this is the future that you are helping bring about.
If you want a vision of the future, Winston, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever.